Every Sunday at exactly 9:12 a.m. The same man sat at the same table. In the corner of the same diner. He ordered black coffee. No sugar. No food. And he waited. For 3 years. Until one Sunday. Someone finally sat across from him. And everything changed. His name was Daniel Harper. 61. Retired electrician. Quiet voice. Slow movements. The kind of man people forget to notice. But if you ask the waitress at Maple Street Diner, she would tell you something strange. He never missed a Sunday. Rain. Snow. Holidays. He showed up. Sat down. Checked the door every time it opened. And left at exactly 9:47 a.m. Every week. But no one ever joined him. Not once. Until the note appeared. And that's where the story really begins. 3 years earlier, Daniel used to sit in that same booth with his wife, Eleanor. They met in high school. Married at 23. 40 years together. Sunday mornings were theirs. Same booth. Same coffee. Same quiet laughter. When Eleanor got sick, Daniel still brought her here during treatment weeks. She would hold his hand and say, "Promise me something." He'd nod. "No matter what happens, keep coming here. Life shouldn't stop just because I do." Daniel laughed when she said it. She didn't. The last Sunday she was able to walk. They sat in that booth. She squeezed his hand. And that was the last time. After she passed, Daniel kept the promise. First Sunday alone was the hardest. Second Sunday was worse. By the 10th Sunday, the silence felt like a third person at the table. People noticed. Some felt sorry for him. Some whispered. But Daniel wasn't waiting for sympathy. He was keeping a promise. And promises mattered to him. Then something small began happening. Every week, someone would quietly pay for his coffee. The first time, he thought it was a mistake. The second time, he asked the waitress. She just smiled. Someone said thank you. For what? She shrugged. Didn't say. It kept happening. 4 months. Anonymous. Silent. Intentional. One Sunday, instead of the bill being covered, there was a folded napkin on his table. He didn't notice it at first. He finished his coffee. Stared at the door like always. Then he saw it. 4 words. "Thank you for staying." Daniel frowned. He asked the waitress. She didn't know. Next Sunday. Another note. "You don't know me." The Sunday after that. "But I see you." Now Daniel wasn't just waiting out of habit. He was curious. Who was watching? And why did it feel comforting? The 4th note came with shaky handwriting. "My dad used to sit like that." Daniel stared at it for a long time. He folded the napkin carefully. And put it in his jacket pocket. The next Sunday, he arrived earlier. 9:03 a.m. He watched the door more carefully. Every person who entered. He studied. Families. Couples. Teenagers glued to phones. Then at 9:28. A young woman walked in. Mid-20s. Nervous energy. Holding nothing but her phone. She didn't order. She just looked around. Their eyes met. She hesitated. Then slowly, she walked toward him. "Are you Daniel?" He nodded. She swallowed. "I'm sorry if this is strange." He gestured to the empty seat. "Please. She sat down. My name is Mia. Her hands trembled slightly. My dad used to come here every Sunday too. Daniel felt his chest tighten. He passed away 4 years ago. She continued. I stopped coming after that. It hurt too much. She glanced at him. But one morning I drove by and saw you sitting there. Alone. She paused. You looked like him. Daniel didn't speak. I don't know why, but seeing you keep coming made me feel like maybe I could too. Her voice cracked slightly. The first time I paid for your coffee. I just wanted to say thank you. Daniel blinked. For what? For not giving up on the routine. For not letting love disappear. Daniel leaned back slowly. He hadn't realized that someone else was healing. Because of his quiet promise. He reached into his jacket and pulled out the folded napkins. All of these were you? Mia nodded. I didn't know if I should talk to you. Daniel smiled faintly. I'm glad you did. There was a long silence. But this one felt different. Lighter. The waitress walked over, confused. 2 coffees, she asked. Daniel looked at Mia. For the first time in 3 years. He nodded toward the menu. Maybe breakfast too. Mia laughed softly. And something in that booth shifted. It wasn't replacing Eleanor. It wasn't replacing her father. It was something new. Not forgetting. Not erasing. Just, continuing. They talked for 2 hours. About electricians and college classes. About grief that sneaks up in grocery stores. About how silence can feel loud. And how sometimes showing up is enough. The next Sunday. Daniel didn't sit alone. The Sunday after that. Neither did Mia. It became their table now. Not out of sadness. But out of remembrance. Some people thought they were family. In a way. They were. Here's the thing about promises. You think you're keeping them for the person you lost. But sometimes. You're keeping them. For someone you haven't met yet. If there's a place. Or a ritual. You've been holding on to. Maybe it's not about the past. Maybe it's about who still needs to see you there. And sometimes. Staying. Is the bravest thing you can do.